Sure. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, that was interesting. I've had all kinds of difficulties today. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, I guess the first thing I could do is ask if I am getting any audio on this thing. Where is Field and I see the troll just decided to come in and screw things up. I don't know why, but anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and I guess, yeah, I don't understand why this individual comes back. Uh, they've got their channel over there on Telegram and so on. But this is more or less a test program to determine why in hell I'm having problems. It mainly has to do with the um, service that I am using to um, live stream this. What I'm probably going to do is a quote unquote official opening for the show is going to be tomorrow night at the same time because I'm going to have to troubleshoot this. But since we've got our resident troll in here, um, might as well. Okay, Task Force, since you've decided to become the star of the show, are you going to answer any questions or are you just going to sit here and interfere with the show like you always do? Because I'm rather curious about a couple things here. Um, who is the other channel? I believe it's known as the High Command. Um, what happened to the High Command that you don't go over there? I don't see you at all on the High Command. I don't see you on the infill turd or infill whatever she is, that Canadian crazy Canadian up there. So why? Um, and are you a bot or something? Because you never answer any of my questions. You just sit there and post this stuff. Um, you definitely have no life because you are on what has to be the smallest channel on the internet. I've tried to move on from you people, and you won't let me. So I'd like to understand that. What is it about this channel that you have to? Now, you see, you're not answering my question. All you're doing is spamming my channel. Why? Come on. Let's open up here, Task Fart. Why are you spamming this channel? This is what I get from Task Force. I get this. Uh, I get this. I guess she's got a crush on that. And of course, she criticizes this channel, yet every single time I go on the air, here is Task Force on this channel. Task Force apparently doesn't care anything about those people over there, even though they've disowned Task Force. They stated that Task Force is a fake username, has nothing to do with their group. And what's more than likely that crazy woman from Virginia. And this is all I get in the. This is all I get on the channel. So, and what do we have here? No, I'm not, and you know it because you're the one that took the picture. Someone came to my house and took a picture of me in front of the house, and so you are saying that that's a lie. How would I take a picture of myself 100 feet away from my house? Uh, with neighbors watching. There are 4 witnesses to that car being parked in front of the neighbor's house. She actually was looking out a window trying to figure out why that car was sitting in front of her house. She called down to the trailer park and complained about that car. Well, that's an excuse, but no, she did not. So you're claiming that nobody was there. You know, what's interesting about that is the photographer has not said a word since that picture was taken. You know that? Not a word. I haven't seen the author of that picture come up and mention that picture at all. Not once. You know, why is it important to you anyway? You know, why is a picture of me in front of my house so important to you? Whether it's, well, see, there you are trolling my station again, and you won't answer any of my questions. So, let's see what the hell's going on here. Now, apparently, you're not much of a sleuther because if you would do your investigative or sleuthing skills, what have you, you would understand that this is a 55 and older park. There's no children here. Okay, I'm going to ask again. Um, and before I ask the question, I'll address your past comment because you apparently are not interested in the truth. This park is what they call a 55 and older community. Children are not allowed in the park, period. No resident can have a child in here. Nobody can have a child in here. If you would do your research, like you claim to be doing, you would understand that. What are what are your feelings? Where are you on the feelings chart? I'm fine. You know, I'm amused that someone like you would take the trouble to come in to a channel where you appear to be the only one on the channel. Um, you know, people come in and out, see that you're ruining my channel, and they leave because they're not interested in the soap opera. I'm trying to cover a court case that's coming up, and you're interfering with that. So, no, he's not arrested. They aren't interested in him, Nate. Um, he is nothing to law enforcement. He's just a little pest, and they have told me that they have no plans to arrest him, that he is a phony, and they're just going to ignore him. They have no interest in him. Um, he's got several warrants out for his arrest. He could have been arrested when he was over in Minnesota recently. They just don't care. You know, so I don't, at this point, I don't know what I'm going to do. I spent hours upon hours getting over 1,000 pieces of discovery for this case I was going to start discussing, but I'm getting to the point where this is going to be a waste of my time because I am tired of dealing with people like this task force person. They want to keep me off the air. They want to censor this channel. Why, I don't know. Those people over there, they have a channel with thousands of people on it. The last time I checked, they've got, as a matter of fact, I'm going to check it again. They've got 34,000 people on there. Yet this channel seems to be the important one. Um, the officer that's waiting. Okay. I published this before, but I'll be right back. I got to get my wallet. Okay, task part. I am going to get into my wallet. Uh, See if I can find it here. Because I'm surprised that you don't have the skills to do a records check at the Orange County Sheriff's Department. They have it on. I checked and it's on the internet. All you gotta do is go into Orange County and find it. The police report's there. But of course, since you're the one that took the picture, I'm surprised you don't know that. So let's see what we can do here. Otherwise, I did on my Twitter account. I put up the name, put up the unit number of the car. And again, it's easy enough. Damn, I must have taken. I know what I did with it. Well, I'm going to have to wait until some other time. I will answer for you that question, but unfortunately, I can't do it now because the information is in a folder. Right. It's the Orange County Sheriff's Department. It should be easy. Yeah, so what? You know, this is the thing, folks. This is what I've had to put up with for 20 years. Why does this individual care about me in this house? I mean, am I the only one living in this way? I'm on Social Security. People like Task Force are preventing me from getting a reasonable job. Now, I had planned to sit here and talk about the case that's creating quite a buzz in the Central Florida area, namely the Madline Soto murder and the guy that murdered her. I even took the time to do extensive research on this case. I've got over 1,000 pieces of discovery and other matters. But does Task Force care? No, she only cares about trolling this channel. And for the life of me, I don't understand why. What is it about this channel? But yeah, now the Astro is supposedly this great sleuther. So maybe Astro can track down the information at the. Why does it keep doing that? Uh, hmm. Well, I don't know. That's strange that it's doing that. You got big issues following one award winning journalist for 12 years. You have more photos of than you do of anyone. Well, you just said it. Timmy is supposed to be famous. He goes around to all these um, Trump events. He goes to places and put pictures of himself holding a book. I mean, the guy is like you claim, this big award winning journalist. Now, who is the individual that claims that I am Whitey Bulger? Who is the individual that is claiming that I murder and traffic in children? Timothy Charles Homestead. So he is my accuser. I have the legal right to go after those that are going to accuse me of these heinous crimes. And you are an agent of Timothy Charles Homestead, and you are doing your hardest to make sure that I stay off the air. Oh, I don't know. Well, apparently not. So maybe if she sees this, she can answer your question. But you're the one that doesn't seem to have any abilities or resources because you would know by now what time the incident took place. You would have the evidence that was given to the deputy, but you haven't done your homework. No, why is that? No, I do not. Nobody wants to see pictures of this trailer. You're the only one that wants to see it. What is your big interest in a trailer with 30-year-old furniture in it? There is such a thing as privacy. Well, task force, why don't you show me your house? Why don't you show me a picture of you? Why don't you show me a picture of your living room? Now, you go around and you ask people to show pictures of their living room and this and that, but you don't do the same. Why is that? Why don't you want people to see who you are, where you live, your lifestyle, any of that? Why not? What's the deal? Well, I think Telegram is on its way out. The owner of Telegram's been arrested, and the value of the company because of that has plummeted. So I don't know. Well, it's kind of hard. It'd be kind of an interesting blind date. But here's the thing, Tennessee. We have a channel here with only 5 people on it. Tim Holmseth has a channel with I don't know how many people. And where's Task Force? Here. Every time I go on the air, Task Force shows up. It's kind of funny. Well, this is the thing about Timmy Hoffa. He doesn't know his ass from the hole in the ground. Number one, that tower he trespassed on is not, or was not at the time, a 5G tower. I don't think you understand what 5G stands for. You do not understand the technology. The people that protest against the 5G towers are Looney Tunes. You are, right now, transmitting through a 5G tower because I don't care if you live where there's 4G or 3G or 1G or whatever G. The major carriers upconvert your signal that comes from your IP address into 5G. So you are on 5G. You don't believe me? Do your research. I happen to have intimate knowledge of technology in that particular uh, way of communicating. Oh, and another thing. Are you ready for 6G yet? See, the major carriers have already started converting up to 6G. So, about this time next year, you guys are going to be complaining about 6G. And what about Elon Musk, that seems to be a hero of you people? He is on 5G. His Starlink system is 5G. Yeah, TN, see, people like Task Force have no idea, absolutely no idea how this technology works. 4G, 5G, 6G, and so on. And she doesn't even understand what the G stands for. So, oh, he reported me for planning to kill Trump. Well, that's funny. He can do that all he wants. But he's been reported to the Secret Service many times. And the Secret Service is not going to appreciate people sending false information to them. So, I don't care. He can call the Secret Service, the FBI, Orange County, Florida Sheriff's Department, a Baca Police Department, it really doesn't matter because eventually these people are going to get tired of this crap and they're going to arrest them. He goes around saying that I'm Whitey Bulger, which is ridiculous. He goes around saying that there's fish people, there's people that are, what is it, fish people, lizard people. He believes in UFOs. He believes that there's a slave colony on Mars. He believes all this weird stuff on BitChute, Telegram, wherever he shows up. He's over on Truth, which isn't. But, he's entertainment because um, it's proof. The desperation of task force coming over here. I don't know what's going on. I mean, Craig Sawyer should be it for these people. I mean, they have this thing, and I'm not understanding what. Oh, here we go. Thought we lost her. Why not call the FBI? I got more to tell you and them. Mert wanted to be and has been the host of the show. Your hosting is how make us file the way. I have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, you're talking in riddles. Um, how do you know that I haven't talked to the FBI? You're a know-it-all, and you seem to think that. Let's see. I'm trying to figure something out here. All right, we'll go with this. Um, go over to that damn. See, this is the problem. For some reason, I'm stuck on this screen. Um, Not sure why, but there doesn't seem to be anything I can do about it because it keeps coming back to the screen. But at least we can have a nice little chat here. I'm not real impressed with this software. I'm probably going to have to go over and try. Oh, let's see what this does. Nope. Weird. Oh well. All right, let's see. Any more comments? Quick result of our investigation. They all asked me. I said Mert has a love hate thing for me. Mert has a real problem coming his way. Well, that ought to be interesting. I mean, this is what, the 100th, 200th threat that has been made that has not come to fruition. But bring it on. You know, I mean, people are going to tune in to YouTube are going to understand that Trump supporters and Trump groupies are responsible for the condition of this channel, that they are desperate to keep me off the air. Fine. I won't do it tonight. This is 10 something, and 10 o'clock at night. I'm not going to be. There's a tower 4 miles from here. That's a 4G, a 5G tower. I have no problem with those towers. You know, See, the thing you gotta understand, you're worried about 5G because 5G is not, you don't understand, 5G is not only for cell phones, it's for this computer and the computer you're on now. If you're on a computer, if you're on a cell phone, your cell phone would be 5G. Your computer would have a 5G capable modem. The signal coming into your computer is 5G. Even if you turn your internet off, the 5G waves are going all over the place because it's a radio. In the simplest terms possible to explain to people that are ignorant about this technology, 5G, the internet, is a radio because the signals, even the video signals, are digitized and sent over the air by what is essentially a radio, and it's called a radio repeater. So, right now, task force, wherever you're at, you're surrounded by 5G. 5G is going through you. I know you are having one of your people create a sock account called Astro to pretend your prevailing theories time story. It's one of your pals, could be from your pal talk day. Well, I'll tell you what, Task Force. Astro X is another one of these people that refuses to confirm who they are. Anyone, and I mean anyone, including you, could create that account. You know, why would I create this account, this Astro X account? What good's it doing me? I've got 4 people in here, and one of them is you, and another one is an observer that comes in every time I go on the air. There's, you know, if this is the plan that I have, this great plan, it's not working. It's a waste of time. Nobody cares. That's what's so funny about this task force. Absolutely, positively, nobody cares. We've got you coming in here every single solitary time I go on the air. You have somehow hacked into my account. I cannot block you. YouTube has rotten security as far as I'm concerned because you are not wanted here. You never have been. I watched and left. Again, the question to you is, to what purposes is this accomplishing? Number one, nobody likes Ray Astro. Not me, not Tim, nobody. She gets kicked off of any channel she goes on. All she has is her little Twitter account, and that's locked. So, this claim of yours that I create sock accounts or have people create sock accounts for me or people do it on their own is stupid because it's not accomplishing anything. 4 people are on this channel. All my regulars have gone away. Nobody tunes into this channel anymore. I'm probably not going to do the investigation of the Maddie case because nobody cares. There's dozens of YouTube channels and so forth that are bigger than me. So I'll just sit back and let them have all the fun. I'll watch their live streams. I'll go down and I will sit in the trial and I will watch it. And I will not probably live stream the case because Tim Holmseth and you have ruined it so that I can't. So For that, you should be happy. You've managed to ruin what little I have to do over here. All I can do is just watch TV. We can have this little conversation every time I go on the air, just so it's on record on YouTube how I'm being treated, and the fact that YouTube is incapable of providing a quality service because they allow people like you to jam up my live streams. I cannot block you. I cannot get rid of you. You come all the time and screw this channel. So, thanks to YouTube and their sloppy security, there's nothing I can do. So, smile and be happy about that. All right, what else have you got to say? You're just sitting there in silence, probably laughing and enjoying yourself because this 73-year-old man can't run a YouTube channel. So, come on. Let's see, what do we got? Yeah, you do not have authority to run my channel. Why are you running my channel? You have been told repeatedly you're not welcome here. So this is a deliberate, you have just confessed to a crime, by the way, but you have screwed up this channel to where I cannot get rid of you. You get notified every time I go on the air. Surprisingly, for a reason I don't understand, my recorded uh, videos don't get your attention. I wonder why that is. And that's one key around the situation is I'll just, instead of doing live streams, I'll just record everything. But okay, you were on this channel. Yeah, the PPTF is a fraud. Because the PPTF, if they were who they said they were, would be off doing what they say their mission is. But they're not. The PPTF, by your own admission, is sabotaging my freedom of speech. I do not have a First Amendment right because you interfere with it. So you are against the First Amendment. You are a communist. And you're acting just like. Why can't you confront me on my recordings? I thought the PPTF owned this channel. See, that's an interesting thing here. There is a comment section in there, and I don't uh, censor my comments. So, what is key here is you are demonstrating for the internet public that your target is to keep me from live streaming. So, at least now I know that a way around you is to continue my recordings because I get a decent amount of response on my recordings. So, as an announcement to my uh, subscribers and so forth, I will probably do my coverage of the Soto case on recorded videos because it seems to be the only way that I can do this. I have not been doing well with my live streams anyway, so this is the way I'm going to do it. So that now that I got it clear as to what Task Force wants to do here, I'll be going into recorded videos, and I simply will not live stream. I can control the medium a lot better. I can produce a higher quality recording and so forth. So as soon as I start getting organized on that, I will convert over to recorded live streams, and this will rid me of Task Force. So, Task Force, thank you for that information. I know how to combat you. Nobody funds me. You know, Here we are with more lies. It's easy to make accusations, Task Force. Start providing the proof. I mean, the PPTF is supposed to be one man away from uh, an individual that has 60 federal charges against him and who has been proven that he is a rapist. He has been proven that he is a child molester. So you people support rapists and child molester. You're supporting an individual out in Indiana who has murdered two teenage girls and is involved in child pornography. He's Timmy's best friend. That's the kind of people you have enjoyed yourself with. So, yeah. But I find it funny. I mean, here you are going after this 4 user channel, and what happened to Craig Sawyer? Yeah, he's able to survive you guys. He won a lawsuit against you guys. Yet you're still being stupid with him. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get what there is about this channel, and you've avoided that answering that question as to what is so important about this channel that you are doing this. Who the hell is Mark Connors? And but again, since you can't stand the subject, what is so important about this channel? Well, whatever. But back to the subject at hand. So, now that you're wandering all over creation, why this channel? What is so important about this channel that you have to come in here? I don't host with anybody. I'm a one man operation. I cannot host with anybody because you've destroyed my live chat. This is your mission. You've admitted it. It's on the screen for people to see that your directive here is to shut this channel down, and you've done it. All I can do is put up recorded media, which is fine. It's actually, I get good viewership on recorded media. So, what I'll do is I'll do live. It'll be like a live broadcast, but it'll be recorded, and you will simply be ignored. You come in here, we just are not going to play with you. You can. How do you know who's on this channel? Oh, I see. Hi, Rebecca. Uh, we got task force in here trying to deny me my First Amendment rights, and at least I got one friend in town. Um, and task force has been the reason I haven't been able to get on the air. She somehow has gotten in here and has locked the channel so that I cannot get her out, and she's also working behind the scenes uh, to make my software not work. This is apparently why I've been having trouble getting online, is because she has come in here under a higher level, that of a moderator or an administrator, and she's tampering with the channel. And I've been talking to YouTube for weeks trying to figure out how she's managing to do that. Well, Task Force, here's the problem. You have sabotaged this channel to where people don't show up anymore. I'm surprised that Rebecca came in because I had 6 decent people that would come in here and we would have a friendly time here, and you have ruined it. Um, Nate, the weather's not too bad. Now it's a little on the warm side. We've had rain every day, which is typical of Florida. upper 80s, low 90s. I think it was 92 degrees today. And like clockwork, it'll rain at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So, so it's not doing too bad. Yeah, this is all Task Force is capable of. She's under orders from Randy and Timmy to shut this channel down, to deny me my First Amendment rights. For whatever strange reason, the PPTF is scared shitless of this channel. They want it gone. They want all the information gone. They cannot stand the truth. So Task Force keeps doing this. Oh, the treason trials. All right, yeah. You know, for for 15 years, Timmy has told me that I'm going to be going to trial, and it hasn't happened yet. So, oh yeah. I mean, Astro's fascinated with men's underwear. I mean, it's amazing. But you're just as weird. So, yeah, but I don't get it. See, there's something going on here because this is the smallest live stream on YouTube. I mean, the smallest. There's not one single show in the millions on YouTube globally that are smaller than me. Because you could have a channel that puts up cats playing with a string, and you're going to get more people in chat than I'm getting. I get 5 people in here. One of them is Task Force, so that knocks it down to 4. And then the my observer knocks it down to 3. So I have 3 active people in here. That's a nothing channel. It's you can't, you know, I can't go anywhere with that. Well, you're here, Task Force. I mean, you came here. You're not welcome here, but here you are. Well, goodbye. Since you didn't answer any of my questions like the coward you are, now maybe I can get down to business here. Okay, now this part's going to be basically what I intended to go on the air with here. And no, Task Force is not going to leave me alone. Task Force is as an immature little toddler that, for whatever reason, comes into this show and spams it. And she's also somehow gained unauthorized access to this show. And YouTube doesn't seem to be capable of doing anything about it. Because I've tried blocking that individual and it says I can't because she's an administrator or a moderator. And I did not authorize anyone by the name of Task Force to be an administrator. Task Force has been told at least 50 times that she is not welcome on this channel. And yet she keeps coming back. And, you know, it's unfortunate, but there doesn't seem to be anything I can do about it. What I find interesting about all this is that everybody on the PPTF and everybody on um, BitChute, everybody on Telegram, everybody on Rumble and Discord and Truth disavows Task Force. Everybody. There's people that are trying to find out who Task Force is. Nobody knows who this individual is. They won't acknowledge Task Force. Task Force to them is an unknown. The crazy Canadian has accused me of creating the Task Force account. So, well, I don't know that much, Rebecca. What am I supposed to know? Um, I'm a 73-year-old retired truck driver on Social Security. So that means I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. So, the mystery here is what is the motive behind Task Force? Now, they claim that they've got some major trial coming up that I'm going to be tried for treason. And, okay, bring it on. I guess maybe they're trying to prove I'm Whitey Bulger again. This seems to be the big thing going around, that I'm this supposed gangster by the name of Whitey Gump Bulger. And again, folks, anybody tuning in, I had intended to start covering the Florida versus Stearns upcoming trial, give an outline of the case, but a couple things happened. I've had a major software crash with Chrome, which is what I used to get into the um, software or this live stream. Um, the It operates in two parts. The first part is the um, software that is on the website that I use to create and broadcast my live stream. Um, yep, they are. And that, for some reason, only operates on Chrome, or at least the company says, which is EVMux, says that it operates best on Chrome. But the problem is, I can't get Chrome to load on the computer. And this only happened within the minute I said I was going on the air, Chrome disappeared. So that means I suspect that Task Force is behind it, because Task Force has admitted that her sole purpose in here is to disrupt this channel. And so that appears to be what's going on. She says she owns the channel, she runs the channel, so that means that she has the capability of damaging my software to the point where I can't do a live stream. And the next thing that happens is when I switch over, like I'm going to do now, um, to my camera, and let's see what we're going to do here. Well, that's weird. Okay, now everything's all fine and good as long as I stay here. But if I go to switch over to a comment, you'll get that other screen. And I don't understand why it's doing that. I don't understand why it's not locking on this screen. And that halo it's affecting my green screen. Um, it's just this software I'm very disappointed in. I pay $300 a year for the software and it's a load of crap. And I don't know, I guess I'm going to have to relearn OBS because that seems to be the only thing that works. But yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating that I can't operate a YouTube channel like millions out there without this nut coming out of the woodwork and declaring that they are going to make it so that I can't live stream. But as much as I like live streaming, I've got other means. I mean, I'll just do the recorded videos because um, task force can't interact. All right, now comments come up. Let's see what happens when I go over to comments. And there goes my screen. See, this is what I don't understand. Yeah, I've been hacked. That's because I have complained to YouTube. I have spent hours on the phone with YouTube saying, why can't I get rid of this task force? Why is she allowed unauthorized to run this channel? Now, YouTube has their little algorithm, so if they're listening on here and their little algorithm is monitoring here, perhaps YouTube can finally explain to me why they cannot get rid of this clown. Why this clown is allowed to be in here. Why is this clown destroying this channel? And if there's a law being broken here, I will prosecute. I will sign a piece of paper saying I will press charges because, she is denying my civil rights. This is actually a civil rights violation because I'm being denied my First Amendment rights. Now, all these crybabies over on MAGA and over on the Trump pages are whining about YouTube not allowing them to be on and whining and crying about this, that, and the other thing. But it's a Trump supporter and a MAGA that's responsible for what's happening to this channel. So I don't get it. And this is why I do not support Trump, because he's a liar. And he can't seem to do anything about these people that are afraid of being critics of his. You know, and I don't care. I have people in here that were friendly to this channel that are Trump supporters. And I understand that. I don't care. I'm not here, at least up till now, to run a political channel. I am here to be a current events social media commentator. I have things going in here on in the state of Florida, in Central Florida, that other people might find interesting, and that includes this case that I'm trying to cover. But can I cover it? No, because every time I come on the air, along comes Task Force to screw it up. Now, I don't know why Task Force didn't hang around. I'm glad she didn't. But there's nothing I can do about her. She will not stay away. She has to come in and get her 2 cents worth and then goes away. Refuses to answer any questions. Refuses to identify herself, which she will have to do in court. Because if I ever get subpoenaed that I have to appear in court, the first thing I'm going to do is demand the identity of Task Force. Because she will be a witness. She will be uh, a part of this trial, and she is going to have to get on the stand. She's going to have to raise her right hand on a Bible if she believes in God and explain herself. Explain why she comes to this channel, why she does the things she does, and why the PPTF is doing this. It'll never happen. I know it'll never happen. I think it's interesting, and I thought that perhaps because I left her idle alone, I don't talk about that more, or at least I didn't intend on talking about that more on this channel, that they would leave me alone. But no, this is proof right here on this channel that Tim Holmseth and his gangsters will not leave me alone. Doesn't matter if I stop talking about him. Doesn't matter. He's going to do it anyway. They are here under his direct orders because, I have had nothing from the Holmseth camp in regards to task force. So that means that they endorse what she's doing. They are commanding her to do it, and that they do not believe in the First Amendment, and they do not believe in the right of free speech and do not believe in freedom of the press. That's it in a nutshell. It's too bad. I have spent 2 weeks researching this case. I've got thousands of images, audio files, discovery. I even went down to the crime scene and took photographs of it to no avail. It's been an absolute complete waste of time. What I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to go ahead like everybody else does out there, and I'm going to put up recorded videos. It's all I can do. At least, if anybody's interested, it will be there that I am covering this case. I will be covering it live from the court, but apparently I'm not going to be able to live stream it. I'm going to have to make recordings and put the recordings up on the internet. And that's, where things are at the moment. Well, and it's an interesting case because to get back on the subject, we have a 13-year-old girl that was murdered 2 days, 2 days after her 13th birthday by an individual that should have been in a position to keep her safe and allow her to grow up and enjoy her life. But instead, he has been charged with her murder. That he killed her in his house that was there with his mother and took the girl in his car to a parking garage. He unloaded the little girl from the passenger seat, put her in the trunk of this car, took her 20 miles to a remote location, and left her body under a grove of bamboo trees, covered her in straw, and left her there. Fixed a flat tire that he had on his car, and he went about his business. Played along with the public, gave interviews with his girlfriend, and acted like he had nothing to do with the murder. Then it comes up that through the investigation by the Orange County Sheriff's Department, they found 35,000 images and videos of child pornography, the vast majority of which were Madline. He did all kinds of grotesque sex acts on this child. And it would appear, from what I have seen, that she may have been drugged and was not aware of the abuse that she was having with her. In addition to this, for some odd reason, the mother allowed this 30-some-year-old adult to sleep in bed with her child in a separate room because she said she was a little tired. And this basically allowed him free access to this little girl. Well, Rebecca, there is this possibility that she will have charges of some kind. May not be directly due to the murder, but she could be charged with endangering the welfare of a child, child abuse, any number of crimes that she could be convicted of, anywhere from multiple layers of misdemeanors right on up into a felony because of what she allowed to have happen to this child. On top of, she may be in trouble with the state of Florida and Orange County or Osceola County because of the condition of that condominium and what it was being used for. they were using that house as what you could define as a bed and breakfast. They even had the doors numbered like it was a hotel 1, 2, 3, 4. They had people paying rent to live in that house. Now, under certain circumstances in the state of Florida, this is illegal. And it may be illegal by the condo association that they were living in. They have these organizations that regulate what you can and cannot do in these condominiums or apartments. And having all these people in this condominium may be a violation of the law. No, I believe she does not. Now, I could be wrong, but from what I understand, Madeline is her only child, and she's the only child living in that house. Uh, there's at least one other woman living there, along with Stephen. They have the complex divided up into 4 bedrooms. She would be in bedroom number 1. The other roommate would be in number 2. And there may be somebody else in number 3. And then Stephen was in number 4. Uh, I'm not clear if Madeline had her own private bedroom on the top floor. But what she had, interestingly enough, was something called the nest. And this was a partitioned off bedroom on the ground floor. Now, that's one of the pictures I have. Now, I can probably bring it in here, but it's going to knock me out of chat again, so we'll see what happens. So I hope I'm still being heard. Let's see. Let me go down. Media files. This is what you could call her bedroom. This is a place on the ground floor. In most cases, this probably would have been a dining room, but it's a partition. That partition you see on the screen that has all the little thingies in it, excuse me, is a divider that was put up to separate Maddie from the rest of the people. Now, I don't know how much privacy one would be able to expect when you have over on the right of the picture the pattern where you can see through it. Over on the left of the divider, the panels are covered. Now, when you close these doors, maybe, just maybe, she has a little privacy. But she also has that pink towel or whatever it is on the right. That enables her to have some privacy. Don't know how much. Where when she's sleeping, she'd be away from everybody. But the night of her disappearance, she was presumably sleeping with Stefan. Well, what do you know? Yeah, and this is, see, I have 900 images from the Orange County Sheriff's Department showing just everything about this case. And there's some things I have that I cannot show on YouTube because they basically are pictures of them of his Stevens genitals. But let me see if I can, because this is what I was trying to do when Task Force came in here, is to show these things. But she decided that, she was more important than the death of a child. This is, Tim Holmes says this that way. Okay, I can't remember which, but this is another picture of that partition from a different angle. And you can see that adults would be interacting with themselves at that table. That's a dining room table that is um, just off the kitchen. And if you notice that over on the left and by that door, that's another bedroom. Uh, so there's an adult that would be sleeping in that bedroom. Maddie would be sleeping over here behind this partition. And at least she has some privacy because this side of the partition has covered dividers. Well, hi there. Oh, congratulations on the puppies. I saw on your Facebook that you got yourself a new batch of puppies, and they're the cutest things in the world. And then they grow up to be these great big thingamajiggies. Yeah, this is unreal. Let me see what else I can come up with here. Now again, this is that portion of the house that has her um, partition over on the right. Uh, actually, this was taken from the main entrance of the house because you notice that door, and that has the front door lock on it. Okay, where she slept normally when she wasn't sleeping with Stephen is that partition that's behind the cat is um, her bedroom. It's a single bed. Um, it's a single bed that um, is in what normally would be a living room because this is what they had. Well, this is what they call an open floor plan down here in Florida. That means the living room, dining room, and kitchen are all one big room. And what they do is they've used these partitions to partition off this closet size space for Madeline um, to sleep, and that she would have to go in there. You know, I don't know where she gets dressed for bed, but she called this her nest, and she would prepare it when she went to go to bed so that she would have whatever privacy she was awarded in there. So that, right now, I mean, at least I'm able to salvage this to some degree. Some degree. So at least we'll have a small conversation tonight, and it'll be recorded to YouTube so that anybody comes in and gets past the task force nonsense. Um, okay, so let me upload. I forgot about that file. Let me see. This is gonna. Oh, what's wrong with that? No, she did not have a quote official bedroom. Um, the only way, the way the sleeping arrangements worked in this house is that her and her mother would sleep in the mother's bedroom. The mother and Stephen did not sleep together. That's a whole different thing that I am going to cover as time goes on and we get closer to this case. Because this is the wildest case I have ever covered in this town. It's, as bad as the Casey Anthony case was, this is much, much, much worse. Um, but Jen, the mother, and Steve rarely slept together, if at all. There were times, I believe, that the three of them slept in the same bed, but that was rare. On the night of the alleged murder, the mother had asked Maddie to go sleep with Steve because she was tired and she um, needed to get her sleep. She was in training because she had just gotten a new job with Disney, and Disney has a thing you go through that takes about a week. And so she went and either A, slept with Steve on a single bed or a full size, not a king, and or she went down to her nest, which is behind that cat. So she never had her own bedroom. So if she had to go to the bathroom, she would have to get out of the partition, go to the bathroom, uh, do her business, and then go back to bed. That is the $1 million question. Jen is a divorced mother. She has claimed to have bipolar or ADHD or something. She takes medicine, and the medicine apparently makes her extremely hard to wake up. And the Stephen person comes along, who and he has known the little girl and the mother for about 3 years, going on 4. They broke up at one time, and he lived with his family for a long time, 2.5 hours away from Kissimmee down in Northport, Florida, which is a little bit south of Clearwater. And then this particular week, he drove up to Kissimmee, presumably for the girl's birthday. Didn't get there in time for the birthday, but they all got together at the apartment. Somehow, um, The next day, he was assigned to take the girl to the school. They did not make it to the school. He claimed that he dropped her off a few feet away from the school because Maddie complained that her classmates ridiculed the car that Steppen was driving, which happened to be a 1910 or 2010 or 2013 Lincoln sedan. It's what they call an entry level Lincoln. These cars are not as expensive as the regular Lincoln, but it's a nice car. But why her classmates would have been interested in this car is kind of weird because kids don't care about cars. I mean, these are girls. They're interested in other things besides cars. So that was kind of a silly excuse. Anyway, so he claims to have dropped her off, watched her walk off towards the school, and he went to a vape shop because he's heavy on vaping, and the vape shop was closed, so he kind of wandered around from place to place. Um, Went to another store. He's into figurines and stuff. He's got some. I thought I had weird hobbies. This guy's got some. This guy's really off the bend on these things. But he went basically piddling around for a while. Comes back to the house. The mother says, "Where's Maddie? She's not here." And so a friend of the family calls 911, reports Maddie missing. There's three different phone calls. There apparently was a problem with the sheriff's department. um, Getting there. It's like 3 hours for the deputies to show up. They had this interview with the cops. Steven has an interview with the cops. The next day, there's interviews with the various local TV shows as well as, again, detectives. Both the mother and the child were interviewed, along with the woman that made the phone call and a few other people. And they had a press conference. I believe it was on day 3, 28th. And during the press conference, the Orange County Sheriff's Department and eventually the Kissimmee Police Department were drafting an arrest warrant. They arrested him after the press conference. So in 3 days, they solved the case. She was discovered in a bamboo grove, and that's in the place she was discovered. Ooh, that was weird. The place she was discovered was in my intro video, and I went down there to the crime scene, and it's not very far from his house. Um, and what I'm doing now is I'm trying to find it. So give me a minute here. All right, let me see something here. Two items with one error. Great. All right, I'm gonna have to do this a different way. I'm getting a lot of errors on these things tonight. So I'll get back to the chat here in a minute. So that's for sure. Now, just to show you, this is two sliding doors that are off to the right of the entrance to this house. And I believe that this is one side of the bedroom that Maddie's in. Now, what's funny is that cat has gotten in about 4 or 5 pictures. And so the cat's poking its head through the Venetian blinds to kind of get an idea of what the hell's going on out in the, what's everybody doing? The forensics van is just off to the right of the picture. Yes, he did. Now, this is one of the things I was going to do, and I'll probably do in a video, is when he went down to the crime scene and dumped her body off, he had a flat tire. And uh, so he had to change the tire. And when he did, um, the flat tire was in the trunk of the car, and part of the tire he actually took to the apartment dumpster and threw it away. So that okay, I'm gonna I'm trying to. Okay, that's. I don't know where the indictment went. There's a lot of stuff I got to get off of here. The name. Do, 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 do. Okay, let's see. Oh, good. Now I know where that is. Now maybe I can. I'm going to try. Bear with me to. Damn it! I don't know why I'm getting all these errors. This is the problem with Orange County stuff. So, that's one nice thing about a recorded video is that I can take the time to properly do this. I got to check this and make sure it's the right case because I've still got other. All right, let me put this up. This is the grand jury indictment, or based on a report by this detective. And upon reviewing the contents of Stefan's phone, several images and videos were located which depicted the missing juvenile with her breasts, vagina, and anal opening as the focal point of the pictures and videos. There were also pictures and videos depicting the missing juvenile's vagina and mouth being penetrated by a penis. As such, the files depict the sexual performance of a child. Irafia, the detective, has probable cause to believe Stepan was in possession of material depicting the sexual performance of a child. It should be noted the penis observed penetrating the victim had a distinct marking on it, which consisted of bright pinkish colored skin below the head of the penis until approximately a quarter of the length down the shaft of the penis. Several other pictures capturing this distinct pattern were observed on the phone. Further, as your affiant was reviewing the pictures and video, I was observing several different pieces of clothing to include patterned underwear, shirts, blankets, and sheets. Simultaneously, detectives of the Orange County Sheriff's Office were executing a search warrant of Stephan home address of blank. This address is also where the victim and her mother live. The detectives searching the residence were contacted and confirmed that they found the same distinctive clothing both in Stephan's room and in the victim's room. Based on the totality of the circumstances, your affiant has probable cause to believe Stephan committed a sexual battery, familial custody authority on the victim. And this is one of many, 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 many reports that came. And it just gets worse because when I went through the 800 or so files, the stuff that was there is much, much worse. He has been doing this kind of abusive behavior with this child since she started menstruating. It would have been at least the last 4 years. She was 13, 3 days after her 12th birthday. So this puts the abuse of this child starting in the single digits of her age. And, this is by far the worst case that has occurred in Central Florida. I can't think of anything worse than this. And this is as bad, but not worse, than the Delphi murders. We got these people that have the trust of these children pulling this kind of crap. And this is where we're at as a society. And, we've got people over on Big Shoot defending a guy that is charged with the murder of two children. In a sense, they are defending a pedophile. Why they're doing that is something I do not understand. Why anybody would defend somebody accused of that sort of thing with the kind of proof that law enforcement has, you know, you have to question the motive. But that's where we're at. But this is the trials that were filed in Osceola County. And the thing about this, is it doesn't show it here, but there, it's like I said, there were 60 charges of this sort. And, this guy at a minimum, if found guilty, will be spending the rest of his life in prison. The state of Florida, however, is going to seek the death penalty. And so that means that if he's found guilty, uh, he'll be executed. He'll be given the cocktail that is given to uh, people that do this stuff. I'm trying to find. This thing is not allowing me to. Okay, this is what I wanted. Now, I swear. All right, I'm having to clean things up a little bit here. Oh, that's weird. I wonder why they're. All right, I don't know why that's. I thought that was a picture. I've run into this even preparing this show, so let me do this. All right, this is where she was found. Um, this is a combination of bamboo and an oak tree. She was found behind these trees. There's, if you look real close, you'll see what appears to be a mound. I'm going to zoom in here best I can. And so, where that little peak is between the two trees, she was found on the other side of that mound, buried under straw. And so that, you know, and it was relatively close to the road. Because this, I shot this. There's a fence um, at the bottom of the picture. It's where all the memorial things are and everything, and that's where I took this picture. Um, and so he basically just dumped her, covered her with some yard debris. Yeah, what they did, they had a hearing uh, not too long ago. Um, they had planned on trying the case this week. I would have this case would have been tried and adjudicated as of today, but they got a delay, continuance, um, to the 14th of October. And so, barring any more delays on the 14th of October, this case goes to trial. But the interesting thing is that Mr. Soto refuses to appear in court. He waived his right to appear and basically is hiding in the Osceola County Jail. You know, and there's a lot of elements to this case. There's going to be emails that he's been constantly writing between himself and his parents. There's going to be uh, things about him complaining about conditions in prison, all sorts of different um, stuff that I will be talking about in recorded cases. Well, at some point, he will have to come to court. Um, if you recall, the same situation happened with um, the Ocala case, the Field McConnell, or not Field McConnell, but the E Clause trial. That she did not appear in court except on camera until just before the trial. She would be there for the duration of the trial because she had to be. There's certain conditions as to when you have to be in court and conditions that are there for where you don't have to be in court. And so I would expect that Soto is going to be there at least during part of the trial. Now, day one is going to be jury selection, possibly opening arguments from the um, defense and prosecution, and then from then on until the end, until the last day, is going to be the producing witnesses, forensic evidence, all that stuff, and then there's going to be a time when the judge and the prosecution and defense are going to go over um, the various instructions for the jury. Then the next day, there's closing arguments, and then the juries are instructed. They go away, they make their uh, verdict, they come back, the judge reads the verdict, and then depending on what happens at that time, it will be determined if he's adjudicated guilty of when he will be sentenced. Um, Now, in the E Clause trial, she was sentenced that day. It's you're off to see the wizard. She was adjudicated life in prison. End of story. And So then that had to go into um, appeal, which it is now, and it's an automatic appeal in these cases. So yeah, there's you see there's this varies between state to state and county to and county and so forth as to whether or not a defendant can waive his right to appear in court. At some point, he has to appear because he has to be sentenced. They don't do what they call abstentia when it comes to sentencing. So that is going to be um, what we're going to have to wait to see how this turns out. That there's going to be a situation where someone, you know, the case, but case has gone much faster than the Blanchard trial. Um, or not Blanchard, but anyway, the case has gone much faster than E clause. Um, this trial was determined to be dead in February, and this is only the end of August. Um, so we're under the speedy trial rules here. They didn't waive speedy trial. So we're able to get to a point where, barring some technicality, this thing is going to court on the 14th of October. And so that's what we're going to wait and see. It can. That's at the discretion of the judge because there was a Florida case that happened here within the last few days where he was adjudicated guilty and he was sentenced to death that same day. At least I think that's what happened. Either that or that might have been, now that I think about when I watched that, um, he had been determined to be guilty. And the judge had gone and looked at all the circumstances, he was brought up and stuff like that. And the judge said, barring all that, weighing the different factors, you are going to be held in state prison until such time as you are executed. And so that I believe was a situation where he um, was found guilty, and there was a period of time before he was adjudicated to the death penalty. Uh, right now, it's waiting to be heard by the appeals Fifth District Appeals Court in Daytona Beach. There's as far let me double check real quick, but I don't believe there's anything that's been filed since the 27th of July about her case. But since I noticed that this, the appeal for her is going to take a while. Uh, and she did get a public defender for that. So let's see if anything new has come up. Okay, July 17th is the last entry. Now, what I don't know is now that we're in the stage of appeal, if I got to start going to Daytona Beach to get this information. But Pursuant to Section 27.51/4 of the Florida statutes, the undersigned has requested the appellate office of the Public Defender, 7th Judicial Court at 444 Sea Breeze Boulevard, Suite 210, Daytona Beach, to handle the above styled case for appeal to the District Court of Appeal, 5th District, State of Florida. Notice is hereby given that henceforth all correspondence and copies of pleadings in this case should be served on the public defender. And the office of Michael A. Graves, public defender, is going to be handling her case. And that's the last thing that showed up on the docket list. And so this more than likely means that it's been handed over to Daytona Beach. Now, right now, there are 1,615 pages of trial transcripts of that case. And I have not posted them yet. I'm going to have to open a file sharing account to put all this stuff for anyone that would be interested in reading about this, because at this point I can't see putting this amount of material up on my YouTube channel as something that's already been heard. So once I get to doing that, I will let everybody know. Excuse me. So that's where we're at there. So I'm down to my last two people, and yeah. So that's where we stand on that right now. Now, I do appreciate everybody tuning in and so forth. And until I can do something about task force, I guess I'm going to have to do recorded videos of what I feel are certain aspects to this case. So I will be notifying people when this occurs, and you're welcome to leave comments on the YouTube channel. You can contact me through Twitter, and at some point I will do another one of these where anyone that wants to show up, even if it's only two people, that I will be there to answer your questions, with the exception of task force. After this, I'm simply going to ignore this individual. She can plaster the chat all she wants, but she's going to be totally ignored. And just these trolls that seem to be out there on behalf of Donald J. Trump seem to want to interfere with people's constitutional rights. And at this point, it seems the only way to do anything about this individual is simply to ignore her. Apparently, I cannot get YouTube to do anything about this. I'm already willing and able to talk to YouTube again, and for them to tell me what can be done to get this individual off my channel so that I can again do live streams. But until then, this is the way I'm going to have to handle the situation until such time as we can exercise our constitutional rights and concentrate solely on true crime. With this Stephen Stearns case coming up, we've got the Delphi case coming up. There may be another child murder case in Florida coming up, and different things that I want to do with this channel if I can get the interference to stop. So, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see what happens again. Until then, enjoy your weekend. Have a good one. Good night.